So we're back here on the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show. We have Corey Dillon that's in the studio being a special guest for us today. But she is Adam and I, we were joking. We've got faces for radio. We record video of the show. We put it on our YouTube channel and we send it out via email. And what's interesting is every time I've had a female on the show.
What?
Every single time I've had a female on the show, the exposure, the video impressions are way better than when I'm on the show.
I love real estate. I love talking about it. I love hearing about it.
You know, and it's funny because, you know, for us, I think our goal is to just kind of be the voice for real estate, just telling you real estate information, answering your questions, and talking about the market. But the funny part is every time I've done the video, when I brought female agents from my team, those videos get double the amount of views that when I have me or you, Adam, or Chris Voss. Whenever all the guys are on the show, nobody watches the video. But when we have the pretty ladies on the show, those videos get double the views. So
you guys would just have to put on a skirt or something.
yeah, there you go. Now I don't know about that. I think
No.
that might be a little sensational, but it'd be funny.
Well, sure.
You know? It could definitely get some attention. So, but well, anyway, back to the talk about the market. Adam, we were talking about short sales and how how they've changed. And a lot of people expect that short sales should get easier. Banks don't have as many of them. There's not as many people underwater, which is all true. But I think what we've learned is the banks now have more time to look at your hardship letter, to look at your financials, to decide if they want to pursue you for deficiency. So the short sales haven't really gotten easier per se because the banks now have more time to really look at it instead of rubber stamping it.
Well, they are being reviewed a lot closer, and if you're looking at a potential foreclosure situation, the short sale is a better way to go because as far as your credit goes, the short sale is better on your credit than the foreclosure will be. But they are getting harder and harder to get done. But we have dedicated short sales individuals. That's all they do is negotiate short sales, so we're very good at getting those through.
And you guys have done a great job for us. We've obviously worked with other companies and not been impressed with the response time and the service level and the communication. So you guys have done a great job on that front. And I think, again, like we talked about, short sales, they're more process oriented. There's just, you know, the banks have more time because they don't have as many of them. It seemed like a few years ago they would take forever to get to them because they had so many, but they weren't. Do I really think they read the hardship letters? Do I really think they looked at
they didn't.
They did. I mean, it was literally like, approved, you know, get it done, you know, and now, you know, we're seeing things come back on deals that you guys are negotiating where it's very clear the person at the bank is looking in depth into what's going on. They're looking at the person's bank statements. They're looking at they're really investigating what the person is claiming in terms of why they need help. And that's a big change from the last couple of years.
And they're paying attention to the market. They want to make sure that their short sale agreement price is truly what the house is worth as opposed to being a lot less.
Right, and they're double checking that value. They're going through broker price opinions. They're going through appraisals. They're going through a lot of different, you know, steps to verify that the value is there, you know, and that they're not underselling it. Because that's the other thing. There were so many scam operations a few years ago. People that were doing option contracts and flips on short sales where they were bringing in their own investor to underprice the property, and you know, so the banks got aware of that. There were even guys out there promoting it. I mean, they're doing like, you know, videos with Star Wars costumes, and there's some funny YouTube videos about some crews that did that stuff even locally. And the problem the example that it said is then the banks realized that their system was broken and that they were losing money hand over fist on some of these deals where they were being led to believe the value was lower than it was. And there were consumers out there that were getting hit with bigger deficiencies because of that whole thing too. But it threw up red flags to the bank to where now they're really on it in terms of value, almost to the point where we're seeing them come back with just ridiculous high value numbers sometimes. It's like, where in the world are you getting this number? But it's an overreaction to what they went through where they saw that some of their properties got shorted.
We've actually had a couple pieces of property where the bank appraisal came in higher than what a market appraisal from a local individual was coming through. So we had to go back through and negotiate those a couple times to come up with a more realistic number.
Yeah, we've had to do the same, and you didn't have as many of those challenges a couple of years ago. So again, it's just with fewer of them available, it's just more present. You know, they're just more available to really pay attention to them.
And the bank realizes people have to do short sales, so they're still doing them. It's just they're paying more attention.
So I want to talk, after the news break, we're going to talk about, you know, e-mortgages. And again, it sounds like a lot of the lenders are starting to go towards more of an electronic closing process. There's discussion out there over signing on iPads instead of using written documents, and some of the lenders are starting to go to that. As well as another article I got, fear of rejection keeping home buyers on the sidelines. A lot of people out there fearful of getting a mortgage, which is kind of funny because it's not harder to get a mortgage. You just got to, in terms of your ability to qualify, it's just, you got to go through more steps today. You know, it's not a rubber stamp anymore. They're looking at everything. And we talked about that with FBC Home Loans on the show last week and the week before. You know, FBC Home Loans comes on the show with us, you know, almost weekly to give us kind of a mortgage update. And they came on and talked about how that was causing people to sit on the fence or to use cash that they really didn't have to use, but they were fearful of being able to qualify. So we're going to talk about that and much more as we continue the conversation about the local real estate market here on the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show.